Hello and welcome everyone. First, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Oanh. Yeah, and as you said, and my co-chair, the CAP. Yeah, we will work together to moderating the Apnic analysis. And thank you to each and everyone to join Apnic analysis today. The task of analysis to share the information relating to the operation policy and processor of national internet registries. As this Apnic analysis, we have the 7 presentations for updates and sharing experience and research regarding the delegation, RPKI, and IPv6 deployment, and something different among NIRs. Before we started, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to thank Sunny and Apnic staff to your support, and also thank you all of the NIRs and speakers, and all of you to join an Apnic analysis. Thank you so much. And also the first session, I would like to introduce Abhishek Mishra from IRIN, the NIR of India, to give us IRIN update. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm myself, Abhishek Mishra from IRIN. A very good morning to everyone. I will be giving the IRIN update, the progress of the affiliates and the developments we have done in the deployment of IPv6 and other updates. So starting with the affiliation growth. So from the past 5 years, we have been made a consistent growth of around 20% every year. Especially in 2021-22, we have made a 31.2% growth. So at present, we have 4,511 affiliates. This growth, basically the TSPs, ISPs, they basically drive this growth in our country. Yeah. So in terms of IPv4 and IPv6, we have delegated till date 11.5 million of IPv4 address to our affiliates. And IPv6, we have 12.4 billion of /56 as on date. In terms of ASN growth, till IRIN came into existence, we have been delegating mostly 4-byte ASNs. So last year we have delegated 390 4-byte ASNs and 3 2-byte ASNs. And this year till date, we have delegated 58 4-byte ASNs. Moving on to the to educate the affiliates, we have been doing monthly webinars for our affiliates, minimum 2 webinar per month on the various internet technologies which are going, such as IPv6, how to make their network dual stack, IPv6 subnetting, infra security, DNS/Slack, cloud fundamental, BGP routing, and all those. In the month of Feb also, we have done two webinar. First one on BGP routing and the other one on cyber security. So moving on, as a capacity building program, we have invited college students from Maharaja Agrasen Institute at our college, at our NICSI. And then we have given them training about what IRIN does, what NICSI does, and what are the benefits of having IPv6 address, what is the importance of IPv6 address, and how they can they can move from IPv4 to IPv6 and other courses. And we also update them about the NICSI Academy, which we have started, and encourage them to do get them registered for the free courses which are available there. So this is as part of our capacity building program, which we have introduced in the past few years. So these are the few initiatives which we have taken to promote IPv6, to help the Indian community to adopt IPv6 and deploy them. First one is the NICSI Academy, where we have put up the online courses. We have recorded these courses on various technologies like IPv6, DNS, and it is free of cost. Anyone can just register themselves and log in, and they can go through these videos and they can get benefit from them. The second one is the training videos. We have been doing monthly trainings for our affiliates, and we record those videos and we will put here so that anyone who can go through this and they can get benefit from this. The third one is the YouTube videos. What are the benefits YouTube videos which are available? So we take permission from the owners and then we put up those videos here. So these are the three categories. These are the currently available courses which are there at our NICSI Academy: the IPv6, the DNS, cybersecurity, BGP, and all the latest courses. Second one is the IP index. This is on the like Apnic Labs. What are the current adoption of various countries? Also the comparison of what are the current adoption rate of the ISPs in India, the leading telecom ISPs. So third initiative is the NICSI IP Guru, where we have a list of we have impaneled from government as well as private players who are the IPv6 expert, and basically a handhold to our affiliates who want to deploy IPv6 and who are not capable enough or who don't have this knowledge about IPv6. So we basically do a hand holding to them and get their the IPv6 in their network deployed. This is the current adoption rate because of our efforts which we have been doing in terms of the various initiatives for IPv6. We are at 75.55 adoption rate. In terms of ROA for IPv4, we have at 60.81% for IPv4, and for IPv6, we are at 48.71. So if we see the overall adoption rate in India is 54.76. Currently, we have developed a portal also where we can check the IRN affiliates, how many affiliates have done a ROA or not. It is in deployment state. Hopefully, it will be done in a week or so. So we will get a clear picture from that how many Indian affiliates have ROA. So it will allow us to directly contact to them who has not created ROA or who is not still aware about ROA. So we will approach them and we will get their ROA also done. So I think this is from my side, Irene, update. Thank you.
Yes, thank you just for interesting presentation. Do you have any question? We open mind to everyone if you have any question. Yeah.
My name is Akinori Maimura from Apnic. Thank you very much for the quite impressive presentation. I am impressed with the difference in ratio at the ROAs between the IPv4 and the IPv6. Maybe the slide is maybe one page back or some. Can I? Okay, yes. 60% and 48%. Do you have any idea or analysis what kind of the reason could be there between these two, the difference of the adoption ratio?
So yeah, IPv6 is low because what I feel, because the adoption was not there for IPv6, because they have taken earlier IPv6 but they have not used. But from the past 2.5 years, we have noticed that they have started doing the route objects for IPv6 also, and they are creating ROAs also and trying to use that IPv6 in their infra. That's why the IPv percentage is moving. I think it was 2 years back, it was around 20-22%. So it has been there has been a substantial increase in IPv6. So hopefully it will overtake IPv4 in the coming 1 or 2 years.
Okay, that would make sense. Thank you.
Yeah, I just have one point to add here. I am from India. So basically, I think most of the telcos in India, the tier 1 and tier 2 ISPs in India, are not allowing the routes to be announced without the valid ROAs and the route objects. So if we have to announce IP addresses on our internet or use IP addresses, we have to do ROAs. So as we know that IPv4 is still a favorable over IPv6. So that's maybe the reason that IPv6 we may have the organizations may have get the IPv6 addresses, but they will still not announced. So as and when they will use the IPv6, the ROAs will going to increase. Thank you.
So yeah, hopefully in the coming years, the IPv6 percentage will go up.
Yes, thank you, Ariroki. And do you have any question? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your presentation. I think it's
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes, I saw that we deployed IPv6 for 10 years ago, right? So I think that when you create rollout, we need to create both IPv4 and IPv6. It's not must take much time, but I think it's really important to routing security. And next presentation, I would like to introduce Mr. Ko Ki-san and Hiromu-san from Apnic. Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Koki from Apnic. I'll show you a Apnic update. I'm glad to present on site for the first time. Nice to meet you. Here is today's table of the contents. First, I'll share the statistical information and member and IP address, S number, and etc. And next, we introduce our activities. A part of this topic, our colleague Hiromu-san will do the introduction. Let's start with my part. First, one is our member distribution. IP member, that means allocate from Apnic is 494 members, plus 19 organizations compared with last year's. Of these, 342 organizations, IPv6 member, have also get IPv6. Many of the new members have also get IPv6. Little by little, the gap between IP member and the IPv6 holder is decreasing. The number of historical address holders managed by Apnic is gradually decreasing, but currently there are 939 organizations. Okay, go next. This is IPv4 distribution. About 400,000 per /24 IPv4 is allocated by Apnic. Although it may rise or fall due to transfer and etc., but however, generally being flat in recent years. Next is the IPv6 stats. 5,656 per /32 IPv6 allocated by Apnic. Although the total volume of allocation has decreased, but the number of organizations receiving allocations continue to growing. This slide is the ACE number and the transfer informations. Only a few new 2 bytes as assignment, and many orgs have received 4 byte ACs. And market transfer were on par with previous years or slightly lower, plus 57, and total is the 566 cases. The ratio of transfers between Apnic contracted orgs is increasing more than the inter-RIR transfers. I will also share the IRR information quickly. We operate JPIRR. There are 384 maintenance objects. The number of assets that we will discuss at 26 is 264. That's all of statistical part. And next, we will share our activities. Switch with Hiromu-san.
Hi, I'm Hirom from Apnic. The document is an old version, but there is an up-to-date version on the website. Please see there. I would like to introduce Apnic RPKI activities. In Japan, the ROA adoption rate has been increasing year by year, and it has exceeded 70% in IPv4 and IPv6. So we are actively promoting RPKI. We have held online RPKI hands-on seminar and made presentation on RPKI at JANOG. And Apnic participating in the RPKI experimental project in Japan. In addition to Apnic, several universities, ISPs, and the Japanese government, MRC, are participating in this project. Participants in the experiment will implement ROA cache server and virtual router to demonstrate RPKI. Participants will learn what it takes to implement ROVs and promote the adoption of RPKI or ROA and ROV. Apnic will continue to conduct promotional activities for RPKI. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Hiromu-san. And I'll also share our activities in, okay. Yes, I'll share the other activities. In November, we done the Internet Week. This event shared the basic technology and the latest trends. This year, we had online and hybrid videos with a total of 5,000 attendees. This is not a unique amount. And in this month, we did IPv6 promote seminar in local area in Yamanashi Prefecture. And online tech seminar is also did it. And we plan to RPKI and ROV hands-on and some study group now. And we also collaborate with other JP communities. We are gold sponsor for JANOG 51. And in this time, our colleague Naoki-san, who here is has been appointed a JANOG steering committee member. We hope to work as core of the community. Finally, share the JPOPM. This is the open policy meeting. This event held by JPOPFST and attended the 39 people has joined. They did who is lesson and sharing info, discuss lease addresses and experience of manage IP addresses. Apnic staff, which means me, share the policy situation in Apnic or other RIRs by Japanese. JPOPM also did Apnic 55's policy introduction and gathering by Japanese. Already shared SIG policy ML. That's all of my slides. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Koki-san and Hiromu-san for a very interesting presentation to update the RBKI and some activity from JPNIC to support your members and community as well. And do you have any question? We open mic for everyone.
Yeah, I have one question here. So in your slide, you mentioned that you have 939 historical legacy resources. Whether these resources are different from the one which Apnic gave the numbers, like Apnic in, I think last week shared that they have something around 2000 historical resource holders from Japan. So whether these roughly 900 resource holders are different from those numbers, or the Apnic numbers includes your historical resource delegations also.
This is the only JPNIC controls number of legacy
So
holders.
I have a question from Apnic, like if Apnic secretary can help me whether the numbers of Apnic legacy resource holders also include JPNIC or not?
Hi, this is Vivek from Apnic. So they are different. So the historical resources JPNIC manage are under JPNIC management. There are other historical resources which Apnic directly manage with our members. And we have the separate project we're doing to try and recover those IPs, but they're separate from JPNIC.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, hi, myself, Abhishek from IREN. I have a question that in one of your slides, you have shown the 2-byte ASN that you are delegating. So I have a question that is there still demand in Japan regarding the 2-byte ASNs, or there is more for demand for 4-byte only?
Sometime for when the ASN assignment, the reason of technology for therefore the allocate to the 2 bytes, but many times is the adapted to the 4-byte ASs. Therefore, we assignment for AS numbers.
Okay, so equipments are still not supporting 4-byte ASNs in Japan, most of them?
Many times it's supported, but
Okay.
Sometimes is only the 2 bytes.
Right, but the 2-byte allocation is way ahead than 4-byte. From so.
Yep. Yes. I'm not clearly the judge of the reason.
Okay.
Sorry.
So by default, you are allocating 2-byte only, or by default, you are allocating 4-byte ASN?
For a reason.
So if anyone asks for an AS number, so do you give him a 2-byte only, or you ask him whether you want 2-byte or 2-byte, 4-byte?
Yeah, we are for customers, and you can use the 4 bytes or only can use the 2 bytes. Questioning and the answer the situations.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I think it's a great question and sharing something from JPNIC. And thank you so much for Koki-san and Hiro for your presentation. Yeah. And the next presentation from Taiwan NIC, I would like to introduce Wen Ju Chen for the next presentation.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Wei from Apnic, and I will present Apnic update. And my presentation is divided into 4 parts. And firstly is about statistics of Apnic's IP members. And now we have 314 members and with various service types include fixed network and the mobile network. And Apnic has allocated 132,590/24 IPv4 addresses and allocated 2,549/32 IPv6 addresses. And most of our members have obtained IPv6 addresses. And Taiwan IPv6 user availability is 48.95% in February 2023. And Taiwan IPv6 global ranking is 14. This data derived from Apnic by measuring mean value of IPv6 capable over the last 7 days. And next is about some Apnic activities and the training in the second half of 2022. We held 38 Apnic IP open policy meeting on December 1, 2022. And there are 2 keynote speech. One is the Future Network Need by Jeff Houston from Apnic. And the second one is the UN Norms of Responsible State Behavior in Cyberspace by Bart Hugeving from ASPI. And except the keynote speech, our session topics include cybersecurity SIG, operational technology SIG, cooperational SIG, and the policy SIG, and IPv6 deployment SIG. And there are around 150 participants. And we hold 4 times IP network communication training. The course topic include IPv6 upgrade of website and cloud, and the IPv6 security. And there are 309 participants, include on-site and online. And we also hold 2 times Apnic joint training. And the course topic include network security and the network management and monitoring. And there are 114 participants. And this year, we will continue to cooperate with Apnic to organize the training. And next is about Apnic RPKI service. The number of routing about IPv4 valid prefix is 97.6%. And the IPv6 valid prefix is 97.7%. And Taiwan RPKI ROA Asia ranking is 4. And the ROA space covered ratio is 98.89%. And Taiwan ROV Asia ranking is 3. And RPKI ROV ratio is 69.14%. And last is our conclusions and the network future works. Apnic have 29 new members in 2022 and execute abuse contact validation every half this year. And we plan to hold 2 times open policy meeting in 2023. And we will continually hold the IPv6 training and the activities. And we encourage and help Taiwan ISP and the service providers to manage ROS to increase the ROA coverage. And we will hold 4 ICANN APEC Apnic engagement forum with 39 Apnic IP open policy meeting on May 2022 to 24 this year. And this is a hybrid meeting, so welcome to join our meeting. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Wen, for sharing the Apnic stats. Now the floor is open mic session. Any questions? If there are no questions, then
I have a question. Yeah. As you know, in the last Apnic meeting in Singapore, I heard that IPv4 cloud design, we decide how much we can deploy IPv6. So I would like to know the status for IPv6 for cloud in Taiwan. Do you have any information about that?
And thanks for your question. I'm Jing Han, also from Apnic. In Taiwan, the most cloud service is from Amazon and Microsoft and Google. So I have asked them, they all have support IPv6. So in Taiwan's ISP, they can use those cloud service with the IPv6.
Okay, thank you. How about the local cloud service?
Local cloud service, we do not have the pure local cloud service. So most of them have combined with work together with the global cloud service provider. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Jing.
Thanks.
Thank you, Wen. Thank you. Yeah. Now I would like to invite Mr. David from Apnic to share his stats about Apnic.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm David from Apnic. I'd like to share some updates from Apnic. First, let me start with the growth and statistics. Okay, thank you. We can see here we got a 30% growth per year in the last 3 years in a row, and now we have 3,600 members in 2022. Most of our members are from the corporate and associations, and then followed by the ISPs, the government, and the educations. And here's the statistics of the IPv4 per /24, which is dedicated in each year. You can see the demand is also following the member growth in 2021 and 2022. But the IPv6 delegation is not following the member growth, and this is unique because the demand for IPv4 is more higher than in IPv6. And also the IS number delegated is quite high in the past 2 years. It reached 400 IS numbers. The next is about NIR services. The first is My Apnic, which is the portal for the member to manage their IP resources. And this year we have a plan to integrate it with the NIR API and reverse DNS API. So the member could request a new resource from the My Apnic and also manage their reverse DNS record from the My Apnic portal. There is no need the help from the hostmaster team. It has average monthly user around 1,300 users per month. And the second service that we offer to the member is Apnic IRR, and it's already mirrored by the RADB. Then let's continue to the APKI updates. The growth of APKI of the routes that are covered by the valid ROA is significant it's grown significantly from the last year. This year we have 75% of the routes that is covered by the valid ROA. And we are targeting to have 90% of coverage in this year. We also run our own repository servers, and this is the statistics shows that there is a higher demand for the RRDP protocols, which is consuming the data from our repository servers, than the RPK validators using rsync protocols. And the peak traffic that we have is 143 megabits per second, and it's only runs on 16 core or CPU and 16 gig of RAM. The public URL of the repository is repo-apk.idnic.net. IPv6 update. Okay, IPv6 update in Indonesia is maybe a little bit unique because in the past 10 years we cannot see any growth from above 1%, but last year we can see the growth is just going high to 13%, and then it's going down again to 5%, and then going up again. This is driven by the big player that have applied IPv6 to their networks. And why we see drop in the last months, because sometimes IPv6 is just don't works, and the solution is just maybe just disable the IPv6, and when something is wrong, just disable IPv6, and when everything is going well, just enable it again. So we can see the up and down from the growth. Next, I will also update about the policy implementation. We recently implementing 2 proposals. Actually, the one is like 3 or 4 years ago, is Prop 125 and Prop 142. First, about Prop 125 or about abuse mailbox validation. Our current architecture is using Amazon Web Services, which is the service used is Amazon SES. Why we use this? Because it has an ability to send multiple emails in a bulk without marked as spam, because we are sending email to 2,300 IRTs emails, and it also has the ability to track the email that is open or is bounced or is received. This is some statistics about our policy implementation. We have 2,200 IRTs, and then 2,300 email sends. Why this is higher? Because an IRT might have 1 or more abuse mailbox, so the email is higher than the IRT objects, and 321 of it is bounced. This is based on the report that we received from the AWS, and 179 validation email is confirmed or clicked by the members. So it means that we have the validation rate of 72.2%. If the member fail to confirm the IRT's validation emails, after 3 months, their MyDNIC accounts will temporarily suspended, and it has a link on the top of it that they should click the link before they can continue to use the MyDNIC portal. And I think this is follows the how's the policy stated. The second policy implementation is 142 is about publishing all transfer record, including merger and acquisition, into public. And recently I will work with George Kuo to reconcile the transfer process that is not belongs to any categories. In our product development, we have two main product this year. The first is Apnic Academy, which is now have more than 1,000 users and 8 course materials, and most of them are completing the course because they have gotten the e-certificate. This is the materials that is in our roadmap. Currently, we are done with the basic material, IP-Physics basics, BGP basics, and routing basics. And then we are now working on the intermediate course materials about IP-Physics address. And in the next, we will work in advanced material about routing and network security. Yeah. And then about our services that have run in more than 2 years, it's a Cadabra. It's a routing information service that it's collected routes from internet exchange in Indonesia, and now it's connected to 10 internet exchange. So we got so much that data to analyze. This is the homepage of the Cadabra RIS. And this year we are planning to launch a monitoring system that will monitor if there is a route leaks happen. So it will inform the owner of the IP address and the hijacker. Okay, I think that's all that I have to say today. If there is any question, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, David, for sharing this technical presentation. Any questions?
Yes. May I have a question? Yes, I impressed the technical system from IDNet to support your member. Very interesting, and I just 2 questions. Yes, I got in your presentation you have target to 90% for ROA. So you can share with us how you will do to get the target. Yeah, the first question. The second question, I heard that you mentioned about the IPv6 drop in last year. So did you connect to the ISP and to find out why they do that? They did that. Yeah, the second question, and thank you.
Okay, let me answer the first question first. Why we are so confident targeting 90%? Because we know who the last 25%, and they are the one of the big telcos, and they have the problem with the MyDNIC portal. So they cannot create the ROAS. They need an assistance to create the ROAS, and we are in progress of having the data reconciliation with them, because they have like more than /11 IPv4 address, and I think that's will significantly gain the growth of the ROAS in Indonesia. And about the second question, actually the IPv6 in Indonesia is driven by the big telcos, and they are still in trial progress. So maybe if there is something wrong, and maybe the user cannot access on content, that the user cannot use the internet with the IPv6, they just disable it. So why we can see from the statistic it's going down and then it's going up again, because something is withdrawn the advertisement and then advertises again.
Great, David. Great, especially for this policy 125 which you are implementing in your NIR. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Now I would like to invite Mr. Zen from CNIC to share his presentation.
Good morning, everyone. The CNIC update covers the listed aspects: Internet development in China, membership, IP and S allocation, the training program, and the IPv6 deployment to China. First, I want to share some data about the China internet development. CINIC released the 50th China Statistical Report on Internet Development on August 31st, 2022. According to the report, the internet users has reached 1,051 million. The internet penetration rate has reached 74.4%, and the mobile internet users has reached 1,047 million. By the end of the February 2023, we have 1,399 members. It covers the ICP, IDC, ISP, cloud, e-commerce, finance, manufacture, and other industry. As for the IP and IS allocation, CINIC has allocated more than 336 million /24 IPv4 addresses in the 28,000 /32 IPv6 blogs. And we have allocated more than 1,100 numbers. About the training programs, in 2022, we have organized 3 online training in the IPv6 and the SRv6. And this year, we plan to organize 3 trainings, and maybe online or on site. Finally, I'd like to share some latest data about the IPv6 deployment in China. By the end of December 2022, China IPv6 active users has reached 728 million, accounting for 69% of the total internet users. The traffic of the mobile network has beyond 48%. The traffic of the fixed network beyond 13. Our new mobile terminals, smart home gateway, supported IPv6. More than 95 of the home gateways in the network have been assigned IPv6 addresses. By the end of 2022, 253 million mobile IoT terminals have been assigned IPv6 addresses. In 5 major areas of government, media, state-owned enterprise, finance, and education. The support rate of the for IPv6 access on the web portal of a homepage reached 98%. All of the top 200 apps have support IPv6. Among them, 180 apps IPv6 traffic beyond 50%. That's all I want to share with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoen, for your talk. Now the floor is open for questions. Yes.
Yeah, good morning. Can you share the slide of the IP members that? Yeah, there is a constant of 1399 for the past 4 years. Is there any problem with that for 1399 numbers? It is not raging, not tripping.
Okay, this year, actually we have new members, but there's still some members, maybe the quit and merged. So the total number didn't change for several years.
Thank you.
May I have a question? Yes, I saw that you have a great number of IPv6 for major website like government, media and finance education as well. You reached 98%. So, and also you have the 200 application support IPv6. I think it's still a great number to deploy IPv6 in your country. And do you have any policy to require them enable IPv6? Yeah. For major website or also applications as well.
The China government have issued a series of policy to promote the IPv6 deployment. So this year, I think the major industry and the top IP apps has already support IPv6. Now in China, many apps in the smartphone has support IPv6, and they have be assigned IPv6 address by the operator.
Do you require you when they apply for license or not?
In China, the operators need to apply the license to run their business. Okay.
Thank you. Any question?
Akine Maimura from JPNIC. That very impressive numbers there about the IPv6 deployment in China, and then that's actually our hope. You know, the higher rate of the deployment of the IPv6 means that maybe we can expect easing the demand of the IPv4. Do you have any sign or nuance where the IPv4 address demand is now easing, or still it is very very severe demand is you receive from the market? What do you think? Still people need IPv4 address a lot, and you need to do something for that kind of demand for the IPv4.
Currently, there's still some the IPv4 address is still be used by many companies, and now it's the double stack is the main method to deploy IPv6.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. That 98% of the deployment in IPv6 for the government, media, state-owned enterprises, finance and education is very remarkable. I really expect something,
yes,
in this kind of the deployment.
The smartphone is very popular. So all the smartphone now support IPv6, so the IPv6 the active users is very high.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Andrew from Apnic. It's interesting that you have the tremendous number of this IPv6. It's something that probably bothers me. With the fixed network of IPv6, why it's only like 13%? Is it because the CPE, the equipments that the customer has, they are still kind of like old devices or something like that, and why it's only like 13% compared to the mobile that's reaching 48%, and also the traffic is already reaching 50% of the IPv6. Why is that?
Yes, just like you say, the old CPE, the capability of the IPv6 support is a little, I think it's a little poor. But the new home gateway on the market all support IPv6, but now I think many content is still in the V4 network. So I think the fixed traffic is lower than the mobile.
So basically, everyone got the internet connectivity from the mobile network instead, rather than the fixed network in that case. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zen. Thank you for your talk. Okay. Now, thank you, Zen. Now I would like.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, now I would like to invite Ms. On to give his talk, to give her talk on IPv6 deployment in Vietnam.
Yes, it's Rio again. I'm from Apnic. Yes, now I could like to share some status for IPv6 in Vietnam. Yes, the overview of IPv6 in Vietnam, we have two national plans. And first we deploy national IPv6 action plan, and in last 10 years now, and between the for government. And the key organization we have the IPv6 task force, headed by Deputy Minister of MIC, and also we focus on ISP and operator, and now we focus including IP members as well. And you can see on the chart the status of IPv6 deployment in Vietnam in last 6 years. From 2016, we got 5%, and now we reached 53%. IPv6 user in Vietnam. For IPv6 action plan, we had 3 phases, and now we completed. And the key point I would like to share the story in Vietnam. We had the policy to require and support government and also ISP to deploy IPv6, and also we had a lot of the training costs to increase the knowledge of IPv6, and also to have the ISP can deploy IPv6. And also we give a lot of conference and online news to give more information about IPv6 to Vietnam Internet community. And also we got working visits and consultant directly to the ISP office and mobile operator as well. And it's our plan to, in past 10 years, you can see the status when we complete the action plan, the post action plan, and now we move to the IPv6 for government. And it's launching, it's launching for new program. And in this program, we look forward to support government agency in 2 stages. As the first stage, we have just complete in last year. We reached our target to reach the 50% government's website enable IPv6, and also we start to new stage to look forward to having 100% government website enable IPv6 by 2025, and ready to deploy IPv6 only as well. And now some policy from Vietnam. Yeah, you can see we have some decisions from prime ministers and also some directives from prime minister to promote IPv6 in Vietnam. And also from MIC, we had the official letter to the government agency and also to ISP of operator as well to promote IPv6 in Vietnam. For human resources, we build the framework for government 10 steps for deploy IPv6 in government agency. And also we have a great number of training courses. And last year we had the 16 training courses for more than 800 attendees. And also we have the Apnic Internet Academy to have the Vietnam internet community can easy to get information and can train for themselves. And we support to 30 military brands and CC when they deploying IPv6. And last year we had the Apnic Internet Conference, the biggest conference for Apnic. Yet we in this conference we had 2 workshops and 1 conference, and the main forum in this Apnic Internet Conference focused on IPv6 for governments. So the deputy minister is the moderator of the forum, and the attendee basically is the leader of the Department of Information and Communication, and also the information center from ministries and leader of ISP join the forum. And I think it's the great meeting to can communicate with the ministries and also the ISP and other agency, government agencies. Where we are, and you can see the measurement for IPv6 for government. Up to now we have almost the government agency like ministry, city, and province having IPv6 plan for their own. And also 77% ministry, city, and province have a portal enable IPv6. Yes. And we can also some statistics for each local province, by from the database from internet speeds by Apnic. You can see on the chart. Yes, for internet service, you can see, we had at the end of last year, we have reached the 53%. Yeah, and for fixed network, we had 79% of the subscribers active IPv6 and 59% mobile subscriber enable IPv6 as well. Is the status we got the report from ISP and mobile operator in Vietnam. I think the main key point I would like to mention to you in this my presentation is our research. Just research basically on Vietnam, just the status in Vietnam. So you can see following the status how many percent of IPv6 for mobile network and fixed network and other network like IP members. So we had the finalize the calculation formula for Vietnam. The EU of IPv6 in Vietnam depend on 40% from the fixed network, 35% from mobile network and 25% from other network. So as you know, we got the target is this year. We look forward to reach 60 to 70% of this year. So we must to focus the calculation formula. So we must to focus on FTT, the fixed network and mobile networks. And also the IPv6 answer is not easy because it depends on many IP members. As you know, almost the fixed network and mobile network depending on the maybe 4 biggest ISP or mobile operator. However, the other, you should need to promote to maybe other major members. Like in Vietnam, we have the 800 member, so we must to support nearly 800 members if you would like to get the 25%. And what's next? Yeah, in this year we had look forward and we promote IPv6 in Vietnam, and we hope that in the year we reach 50 to 70%. And also we focusing on the business ISP and mobile operator in Vietnam. For IPv6 forward, we will continue to deploy IPv6 program, and also we can have a IPv6 program, IPv6 forward forum at the VNIC Internet Conference this year. And also we have the plan to next 3 years to keep deploying IPv6, following IPv6 for government and also promote ISP mobile and IP member as well. And in from 2026 to 2030, we developed the program focused on IPv6 for IoT, IPv6 only, and IPv6 plus in Sasto. Thank you so much to you. Yeah, as upcoming that is I think almost I said with you, and I just meant for some the VNIC Internet Conference 2023, and VNIC is the 2 biggest event in Vietnam, and also I would like to invite all of you join with us in person or online. Thank you so much, Dastos.
Thank you, Anne, for the session. Floor is open for the questions.
Yeah, hi, it was a good presentation. Abhishek from Iron. So my question is that it is encouraging to see the adoption rate of IPv6 has increased in the recent years in VNIC. So my question is regarding the IPv4. Is there still demand of IPv4 in Vietnam, or it has been declined in the recent years?
Okay, thank you, Ashita. Yes, I think, of course, up to now, IPv4 is the still important for our member. In Vietnam, we got some requests from the big ISP. I don't want to tell exactly who they are, but they would like to get 500,000 IPv4. So we contact to VNIC and would like to have support from VNIC. So, however, we following Apnic policy, so we just have dedicate staff 23 to its members. So we did not to dedicate more than that. So we promote them to deploy IPv6 only soon. Yes, that's okay.
So how many VNIC members have taken both IPv4 and IPv6?
I think nearly 50%.
50%.
Yes.
Okay, it's a good number.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parhar from ISPI, India. I just, last when we had visited Vietnam, I think it was in 2017. And from there till now, a vast improvement, I think from 6% to 53%. Now that's a phenomenal achievement by Vietnam. Now, I just wanted to know, what are the incentives that your government is offering the private industry to move to change over? Because that is, I can see a lot of work has been done by the government and they will achieve their targets. But what about the private industry?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for so good and interesting question for government. And we, yes, first we promote to the ISP enterprises and focus on the big ISP because we need under MIC. We promote IPv6 following the government requirement. And also the first action plan, we focus on ISP and mobile operator. And up to maybe last from 2020, we support and promote private like ministry, but it's not the requirement, it's the promote to support them to deploy IPv6 for themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
So no other incentives from the government side other than the trainings or
Yes, we got we had many training and also the consultant meeting to direct the each ministry to support them. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Owen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, and I'm come back to NIRs chair. And now I would like to interview God to present the last presentation. It's some difference between among NIRs. That's the research on the NIRs chair is something we got online information. So if is there something is not updated, please let us know. Thank you so much. Just please.
Yeah, thank you, Anne. Good morning to all of you. Myself, Gaurav Kansal. I work for National Informatics Center and ISP for Government of India. Just to give you introduce our background, my organization provides internet connectivities to the state, to the federal government, state government. We run the data centers for the government. We connect institutes, and we run the National Knowledge Network, our educational and research RAN in India, where we have connected more than 1,500 institutes and the project is working excellent from last 10 years. And we are now looking for a second phase of the project, where our plan is to connect rural villages, government schools, and others. So in this presentation, what I'm trying to cover is, apart from the services of providing, allocating IP addresses within the region, what other things or what unique thing is there amongst the NIRs. So we have 7 NIRs under Apnic. So if I talk about Apnic, there are 5 regional internet registry RIRs. Only Apnic and LACNIC has this NIR concepts. The ARIN, Afrinic, RIPE NCC does not have this NIRs. Apnic has 7 NIRs and LACNIC has 2 NIRs. Unfortunately, from last 10 years or so, Apnic is not accepting new NIRs, the reason best known to them. But yeah, we have 7 NIRs in our region. So in this presentation, I will try to talk on these points mentioned in this table of contact. So 7 NIRs we have as I talk about, and I think IRIN was the last one which was delegated by Apnic to India. Thanks to ISPI and the other leaders, Mr. Parhar, who is here, who help us in getting a NIR for India. So if I talk about the organization structures,
the CNNIC, IRN, KISA, and VNNIC are of governmental in nature, means under government ministries or under government controls or like similar things. And if I talk about IDNIC, TWNIC, and JPNIC, they are non-governmental and outside the scope of government. So in this presentation, if you think any information is not correct, just let me know. I will update my slides. Whatever I'm showing in the slides, I try to collect the information from the official websites and whatever I can get it from my NIR members, colleagues. So next is what other roles and services offered by NIR, accepting the IP locations, which we always used to talk about in our this NIR meetings. So if I talk about CNNIC, apart from running allocating IPs, run the .cn and TTLD, the country code TTLD for China. If talk about IDNIC, also runs the .id, CCTLD for Indonesia, and also runs the Indonesia Internet Exchange, IIX. If we talk about IRN under NICSI have many roles. They have, apart from allocation of IP addresses, they are CCTLD manager for .in, a country .in top level CCTLD for India. They are running the National Internet Exchange, NIXI. Apart from them, they are also coming into the launching the public DNS services, basically primarily for Indian IP space. This is one of the unique services which they are offering to its customer or to the users. Next is JPNIC. JPNIC, one of the, I think the oldest one, the one where internet starts in Asia Pacific regions. Apart from allocation of IP addresses, there runs the certifying authority, CA, which is a very critical in nature. If we talk about internet, JPNIC used to run the .jp CCTLD till 2003, but after 2003, I think in 2003, they transferred this .jp delegations to JPRG. If we talk about KISA, KISA also runs CCTA.kr CCTLD, and there also runs the KCERT, Korea CERT, Computer Emergency Response Stream, which is one of the unique functionality among NIRs. TWNIC, apart from IP allocations, CCTLD manager for TWNIC, TW domain. If we talk about VNNIC, runs .vn CCTLD and Internet Exchange. So here, more or less, all NIRs, apart from IP allocations, are also managing the top level domains for their respective countries. Yeah. So next is fee policy, ROA, who is RPKI, what is the status of these things in NIRs. So in this information, there may be a slightly variation, especially with respect to fee policy, because I tried to level best to figure out the latest fee policies across NIRs. So I added the fees charges for of Apnic for a base comparisons. So in our slides, we see that we are from last few years, we are seeing a large number of affiliates coming to IRN. The numbers are really high as compared to other NIRs. So maybe what I think is IRN is giving the IP addresses in less than half of the cost to Apnic. So this may be a major reason for a new affiliates for coming to IRN, but there are few services which some NIRs are offering to customers and others are not, like who is the services in ROA, which we can have directly from NIR portal, which unfortunately IRN, if we talk about cost wise, they're very effective, but yeah, the service is not there. Just other thing which I found little bit weird or something is CNNIC fee is higher than Apnic. I don't know whether this is, I tried to get it from the Apnic CNNIC website, but I don't know whether this information is correct or not. But yeah, the fees of CNNIC as per their website is higher than Apnic. That may be the reasons which Mr. Abhishek asked why Mr. Ajit asked why the number is not increasing CNNIC. Maybe a reason that fees, why we will go for CNNIC if we can get it cheap IPs directly from Apnic, a parent body.
And I think yeah, plus every NIR having a minimum allocation of /48, whereas I found out that for in CNIC the minimum allocation is /32, which I personally think is a better thing to do. Instead of going for /48, we should go for /32, which can help us in summarizing the route and can help us not today, not in next 2 years, but maybe in next 5 to 10 years to have a IPv6 routing table in size. Likewise, right now we have more than 10, I think 1 million routes, IPv4 routes in the internet routing table. If we will keep on giving the smaller allocations in IPv6, the IPv6 routing table will be like very, very huge. So this is a common slide which everyone talks about, like IPv6 allocation, delegations, and what is this? What is the percentage of implementation in the region? But the thing which I want to cover here is basically from 2004, China, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan was the one who started IPv6 very early. At least they get the IPv6 numbers from my Apnic in 2004 and 5, and which we can easily figure out in Apnic delegation table that they have a very good huge numbers and very fancy numbers, with Japan, Korea, and Taiwan delegated from 2004 onwards. But afterwards, the China started show, and in 2015, 12, 13, they surpasses the number of allocations. And this table is of we are only for 7 years. So the number right now they are far away, way ahead with other NIRs. India, other guys are very yes. So yeah, I think I mixed this slide. Yeah. So similarly, IPv6, IPv4 delegations, Japan, Korea, Taiwan starts early, but before in 2010, before IP103/8, last/8 allocation policy of Apnic, the numbers China, Japan, and South Korea, especially the Japan, Chinese, got huge IPv4 numbers, and others stay behind. So that's why the numbers are. So now the curve is nearly flat, because as per policy, anyone max can get 23. So it will not impact much with respect to the complete IP4 address delegations. So this is the interesting stuff which I found out with respect to IPv6. So where on the left side of this, I am trying to show the complete IPv6 delegation by Apnic. Because NIR, although they delegate the number to their affiliates, but they take it from Apnic only. So they are just like a postman for delegations, at least for our delegations. They don't have any, as per my best of my knowledge, they don't have any block from which they can delegate the resource to their affiliates. For every request, they have to go to Apnic. So every request, every delegations directly came from Apnic. So here in IPv6 delegation, if you will see, in Apnic region, more than 60% of the delegation, IPv6 delegation, is gone to China. This can be very much possible or very much justifiable because of the huge population that China has. But yeah, interesting figures to figure out. More than 62% of the numbers are with Chinese. Apart from 7 NIRs, only 13% delegation to rest of Apnic region, which I am covering under others section. So 62% for China. Next is, I think, Japanese 9.8%, Korea 5.1%, India 5.9%. Although the population of India and China is far or more same. I think we have crossed the Chinese population recently, but yeah, the number delegation IPv6, India is 1/10 of China. So just to show the figures, stats only. In IPv4 world also, although the Japan has the legacy historical resources, but they only have 20%, whereas China has 38%. India 4.7, nowhere. Population is still, we have the second most populous country, but yeah, nowhere in IP numbers delegation. At least not in, we can justify that not in V4, but yeah, nowhere in V6 also. This is just to summarize, like I try to summarize the IPv6 blocks, whatever allocated to country and what the smallest delegation I can get. China is having 1/17. This is not a single delegation. I try to summarize that thing. So they have 1/17, 1/18, 119. Similarly, others I'm trying to show here. In IPv4, just the numbers there, just to show you figures. No more, no less. Yeah. So IPv6 deployment status, we have, yeah. So where we are able to see Japan starts early because they get the number early. So they start in 2010, figuring in numbering graphing this is it's 17. In India was like nowhere from 0 to 5% till 16. But yeah, in 16, the major thing happens in India was a launch of Geo Telecom, a new ISP within India, which was having no IP addresses with them before. So they don't have IPv4 blocks with them. So what they did was they start their services over IPv6. So they are providing IPv6 to every of their customers. And because this is the primary reason that the growth chart of India in IPv6 deployment, it looked like it's on the top. More than 75% of the Indian device or the or you can say service or a customer is available, is IPv6 is preferred. So after Jio, the other telcos, Indian telcos, Airtel and Vodafone start giving IPv6 addresses, which leads to India being on the top in IPv6 deployment in 7 NIR nations. Yeah. So this is the last slide, here I'm trying to show the mean internet speed in mobile and fixed broadband in 7 NIR nations. So what I figure out here are generally their concept that will get a good speed in fixed broadband because of having a connectivity or fiber or something similar. But in two nations, in India and in South Korea, the mean internet speed is greater over mobile network, maybe thanks to 5G, 4G, than a fixed broadband speed. Although they are the speed is mobile speed is greater than if I talk about India has a mean speed of 109, which is nowhere on the top. Like we have 189 Mbps speed is available in CN. We have 247 Mbps speed available in Korea over mobile network. But yeah, in these two countries, the mobile internet speed is far better than fixed broadband speed. So that's all from me.
Yes. Aniruki. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Akinori Maimura from JPNIC. Thank you very much. That's really great analysis. Comparable analysis is always really helpful for us to understand ourselves in the comparison with the others. Could you get back to the slide of the business other than IP address management?
Are you talking about this?
No, business other than IP address management.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. That's this comparison is also great. And then I'd like to clarify something for the JPNIC's business. So yes, we are doing the certifying authority, CA, and then we actually have the certification authority server, and then that is actually serving to our RPK or JPR IRR. So that's a true. And then additionally, we have some other businesses. I actually, if I need to explain what JPNIC is, I tend to say that we are doing the half APNIC-ish business, which is the NIR, and then the half ISOP-ish business, which is the internet promotion. The internet promotion covers a lot of things. For example, we are doing the Internet Week, which is the internet event of the training and the session series of them. And then we are doing the information dissemination, and then we are doing the some other events, technical seminar or something like that. So that is a clarification for this table. And then maybe other NIRs have more clarification, and I see some differentials in this table, but maybe the other NIR colleagues can point it out.
Yeah,
Thank you very
so
much.
thank you. That's why in the beginning of my presentation, I explained that please pardon me if I am missing something out.
No.
So yeah, and personally, I am a huge fan of Japanese internet community. So they run the show in a best possible manner. They have this prop meetings and but unfortunately, the non-Japanese community cannot join this because of the most of the sessions are in Japanese only. But yeah.
First and foremost, I really appreciate this analysis, and then let us help you to be more precise. Then I suggest you to do the further solicitation of the information from the other NIRs to help this make perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Andrew from Apnic. Again, just like the one that we mentioned, that it's really great to see this kind of comparisons. It just probably I can give you some suggestions that yeah, sometimes we refer into like old informations, right? So like the example that we have right now, the Apnic is no longer managing the CCTLD, and also the Indonesia Internet Exchange is not by the Apnic, but it's from the APG, which is the the umbrella organizations. So that's why probably some suggestion that we can have is actually by not just simply looking to the referred documents, which probably the old documents, but also some interview or some emails to clarify things. That could be much better situations. Just like we do have the WHOIS service, which is stated that we do not have that one, and also the raw RPK as well.
Apologies. Actually, I think I dropped a mail to all NIR members, but it was too late. So I am apologies for this. With respect to the umbrella body APGI, basically, if we talk about Indian iron, it is under NIXI umbrella. So what I tried was under iron also, I tried to add the services which is managed by the parent body. So that's why I added the ID.IDCCTLD in IIX. Maybe I'm not sure whether I should add the services of the umbrella body or not. But yeah, this is what I tried.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Apologies for this RO and RPK service. This is the first time I'm attending the NIR meeting, as I am not from NIR community. So really apologize for this. I will update the slides and will update it on the Apnic portal also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Ariroki, San, and Andre from Apnic. And I think we got a great session. And as you know, I am from Apnic, and I know that we work so hard to support our communities for each countries, each economies. And we know that we had another policy, and we also following Apnic policy, and also we had another policy in each NIRs. And I'm very happy to work at Apnic, the NIR of Vietnam, and we contribute much for Vietnam community. And I believe that in your countries or economy, you are doing like us. Yeah, we support for a lot of things, for training, for working closely with ISP, IP members to support them in your language. So I think the last presentation, just the overview of among NIRs, so we can know each other. Maybe we can connect to each other if we have the same function, and to share more experience in your country. And I think we complete to 7 presentations today. And last and not least, I would like to thank you so much for 7 presentations and 7 NIRs, and also all the attendees joining with us today. And thank you again with Sunny and Apnic staff to support us. And hope you can enjoy you have enjoyed the Apnic NIR6 today, and also to look forward to seeing all of you in the next NIR6 at the Apnic 56. Yeah, thank you so much, and see you.
Thank you.
Last, I would like to invite all speakers go on stage and we have the photo together. Are you happy? Okay.